placed at National Institute of Agriculture, Indian Agriculture Research Institute, Center for Protected Cultivation Technology. As the name of the center suggests, we are working in the area of greenhouse agriculture. And as the title of the conference goes, innovative agriculture. In fact, protected cultivation gives immense opportunity to innovations in agriculture, the high-tech agriculture, the advanced agriculture. I called it precise, progressive and parallel agriculture. As opportunity for an agriculture which is viable from small landholdings, which is helping us fight with the climate changes, the vagaries, the uncertainties of the climate, so that we can modulate the structures as per the requirement of the region, crop, and the climate to suit as per the needs. So there are 3-4 things which are important: crop, the climate, and the cost. You have to play with these 3 things to greenhouse agriculture. The main aim of protected cultivation is to protect the crop from abiotic and biotic stresses. There are many fresh students. I'll rather focus only on the basic issues into the greenhouse agriculture. This agriculture, as I said, has tremendous advantages over the traditional agriculture, because you can help protect the crop, and you can increase your yield 5 to 10 times. In fact, even up to 5 times. If I give you an example, that if you are suppose a farmer growing tomato, or you are simply a landowner, what is the value of the crop and the crop produce? As a landholder, as the owner of the land, what is your expectation? Many of us are virtually not able to do agriculture because of the low productivity, because of the climatic constraints. But the main reason is that the other sectors in Indian economy have boomed so much over the last 5-6 decades that we, from being 70% agriculturists, are hardly 20% agriculturists, to the extent that a country of 140 crore people, we are fighting for the availability of the labor. Most of the youth is not turning up to agriculture. The reason being, not that youth doesn't want to work. Youth today is very learned, very conscious, very academically and career-wise, they are fairly cognizant and fairly aggressive, I must say. It's not that they are what they call in Hindi nikamma. No, not at all. Many parents might call that funnily, but greenhouse agriculture is an area which gives enthusiasm to the youth, because it is the face of agriculture which is highly productive and which is highly forward-looking and highly entrepreneurial in its total gamut of the things. So protected cultivation is a tremendous opportunity not only for the country. From the perspective, there are many other perspectives also. If you see, the population of the country is burgeoning, and the average land holdings are hardly 1 acre of land per capita. So per unit holdings are very low. And from 1 acre of land holding, how can you support a family? See, consider the lease rate of the farming. I am talking about the ground realities and basics of agriculture here. If you are a land holder, you lease the land out for 30 to 40,000 rupees per acre. So how can you support a family with this small amount? On the other hand, greenhouse agriculture and protected cultivation are the areas which can straight away increase your income from 2 to 10 lakhs, and under rare even 20 lakhs from 1 acre. Now don't take the plunge right away. इसके खतरे भी हैं. ऐसा नहीं है that if you are all comfortable in Hindi as well. Okay, if anybody is not, then because I might spill out a couple of words in Hindi here and there. The opportunities of high productivity and economic returns from greenhouse agriculture are tremendous. It depends upon what you are growing, where you are selling, what is your quality, what time of the year you are selling, which part of the world you are selling, which are the quality crops, what are the add-ons, what are the processing plans, what are the packing plans. If you consider all these avenues, the scope under protected cultivation is unlimited. You see the example of orchids for one stick of flowers in the peak season might sell for 10,000 rupees. And you can easily grow 1 lakh sticks from 1 acre. Where the economy goes? 1 crore rupees per acre. The scope is unlimited. As I said, it depends upon what crop you are growing, what season you are growing, how much you are growing, how well you are growing, how well you know how to grow, where are you selling, which part of the country or which part of the world you are selling, value you have added. So these are the things. Now there are pros and cons, and there are pitfalls to protected cultivation. If you want to establish a greenhouse, there are challenges. It's not that you just build a greenhouse and the magic starts flowing and it's kind of a magic wand that you start minting the money from day one that you construct a greenhouse. No, it's not like that. It's like walking on the razor's edge. कठिन है डगर पनघट की जिसको बोलते हैं, because you must build the greenhouse appropriately. What kind of a structure you want, what kind of crop you want to grow, where in the country you are located, what are the demands of the region, where you have to build. Is it a low-lying flat or it is a high upland? It is mountain or a plain? It is coastal area or it is a forest area? It is peri-urban area or it's an urban area, or even if it is a rooftop. Factors you choose from amongst the available structures that you want to build. Whether you want to build glass house or poly house or polycarbonate house or insect-proof net house or simply a shade net or simply a walking tunnel or only low plastic tunnels during the winters to just advance the crop. So again, the choice of crop and the season and marketability. You see, when you go for the protected cultivation or the innovations therein, you have to study the pros and cons of everything. The planning part of the greenhouse technology has to be very, very good. You have to survey the area, you have to carry the benchmark survey, you have to see existing greenhouses, you have to see even the failed greenhouses. Reasons the greenhouses have failed. In fact, around 60 to 70% greenhouses fail in North India as compared to South India. Because probably they don't build the kind of the structure they should have built. Or the quality of the structure was not provided nicely. Or the area located was very diseased, or it was close to maybe brick kiln. It was close to the desert and you built a polyhouse. There are so many factors to it that it's not that you just build a greenhouse and the magic happens. So you have to learn about the greenhouse agriculture as a whole on the planning perspective, what and which kind of structure you have to build, how much money you have to spend, and depending upon that, what has to be the orientation and the gadgets and the facilities available at the greenhouse structures and the nearby premises of the greenhouse where you build in your campus. So once you are through with the planning, then you have to be very thorough with the overall knowledge and technology of the crop production. Whichever crop you want to grow, you have to know about the crop, you have to know about the kind of the seed, the kind of the planting material you will use, or how you will produce the quality planting material, or how you will procure the quality planting material. So if you grow the crop inside the greenhouse, but you don't have the arrangement for the nursery, then what you do at the last moment, you grow the nursery just outside the greenhouse, and you will end getting a nursery which is virus affected, and you plant the same nursery inside the greenhouse. At the time of the seedling stage, it may have not shown any symptoms, but the moment you plant, and you may end up with 100% crop failure, 100% virus infestation. If the structure of the greenhouse is not proper, then you may not be able to stop the entry of the insects against which the normal greenhouse should have protected you and your crop from. So the kind of the structure also, not only in terms of material, not only in terms of choice, but in terms of structural provisions and the operational mechanisms of the greenhouses are very, very critical and very, very important. So greenhouse agriculture is all about knowing the structure, knowing its operation, and it varies from region to region. You have to learn very, very basics as to when and how the carbon dioxide, the air, the temperature, the airflow, the air circulation, the humidity management has to happen. Then if you are growing the crop inside the greenhouse and it is not a soil lab facility, then one thing you have to be very cautious of is the soil preparation. The preparation of the soil has to be very, very exhaustive. Even before you build the greenhouse, you have to know about the soil. What is its pH? What is its EC? What is its pathogen load? Whether the crop being grown there earlier was infested with a lot of diseases and pests, you have to take note of and prepare the soil accordingly. You have to treat the soil. Accordingly, you have to prepare the nursery also. Then, among other factors of crop production, you must learn about the crop canopy management, crop trellising. You see, one of the many factors of increasing productivity in the greenhouses is by virtue of utilizing the verticality of crop production. In the open, if the crop is trailing in the greenhouses, the crop is being trellised and trained on the ropes and threads so that per unit area, number of plants is increased 2 to 4 times. So if the number of plants are increased 2 to 4 times, the productivity is straight away. The overall productivity increases 5 to 10 times. So by virtue of good crops, indeterminate crops, long duration crops, number of seeds per unit area, number of plants per unit area, you increase the productivity. So that is how you are increasing and taking care of the productivity. Then you have to know and learn about crop management, canopy management, branch management. For example, if you are if you are producing capsicum, colored capsicum inside the greenhouse, the Branches that you will take will decide your productivity and quality. If you take 2 branches, then productivity and the size of the fruit will be different. If you take 3 branches, it will be further different, and up to 4 branches if you take, then what will happen? The, the number of the fruits will increase, but the size of the fruits will reduce. At the end of the day, what plant does? Whichever amount of food the plant produces, it converts into fruits. So it is upon you how you manage the crop, branching and disbudding, etc. through it. Sorry. Sorry, my throat is not well. I was suffering from cough last 3-4 days. Somehow I managed to come. I hope I last the talk. I'll take 5 more minutes. So the crop canopy management, branch management, bud management, the leaf management. For example, if you are growing gerbera, it is very important how many leaves you maintain on the plant at which stage of the plant growth. Leaves, then it may not necessarily lead to productivity. Instead, you may be creating a microclimate which is more congenial for the whitefly. So you have to know branch canopy and crop management and crop habitat management and crop microclimate management. You have to have a thorough knowledge. Then another important factor is irrigation and fertigation. Nutrition to the crop. At what stage, how much nutrition has to be given? What are the micronutrients at what stage and how many times you need to apply? Okay. Even excess of the nutrition is as damaging as the deficiency of it. In fact, excess of the nutrition is more damaging than the deficiency of it. Deficiency because it only stunts the growth for some time. But if you give the plant nutrition at some maybe late by a week or 10 days, the plant will recover and grow normally. But if you give excessive nutrition, then the plant may never recover due to phytotoxicity. So you have to be very cautious. Luckily, the science is developing very fast. Now there are sensors being developed which can straight away tell the nutritional status of soil, nutritional status of the plants, and which is going to be. But at the moment, the farmers are in dilemma. The farmers are not able to identify which nutrition is deficient and which is not. Now, for example, if the crop is damaged by the nematode, the symptom it will give on the top of it will be that of nutritional deficiency, as if nitrogen is less. There will be patchy growth, there will be yellowing of the leaves, and if nitrates are more, maybe the marginal burning of the leaf will happen. If the manganese is, these kinds, very cautious. And then even the stage of the crop and even the top or bottom of the crop. The symptom is coming on the top of the crop or the symptom is coming on the bottom part of the leaf. If the bottom part is getting diseased or the top part is getting diseased. These are very, very critical components which are the very excruciating and very important and critical parts of the knowledge of the greenhouse production systems. When you invest so much into the greenhouse, roughly suppose if you construct a poly house in this region, it will cost you somewhere around 34 lakh rupees, 35 lakh rupees per acre. In spite of the subsidy, you have to shell out nothing less than 17 lakh rupees per acre. So it is one of the bottlenecks of greenhouse production systems that the initial level of incurrence is very high. And I often say that in agriculture, the most critical part of this thing is commerce. the business, the marketing. If you produce everything, even when you produce everything nicely, then you are supposedly successful. But if you go to the market, it doesn't sell at the appropriate price, at the price it deserves, then even success becomes a failure. And there is the crux of it. The farmers suffer maximum at the level of knowledge, at the level of market, and at the level of these critical things. In agriculture, I say there are two things very important. One is that it is a necessity. As a food, you will always need agriculture. The most critical part. But another part is the market. It is the economics. It is the volume. It's the quality which counts. In some products, it's the quality which counts. In some products, it is the volume which counts. But greenhouse agriculture, on the one hand, it is the highest end of the technology, but at the market level, it falters maximum because farmers often do not have volume. They cannot have the volume. Most farmers cannot have the volume. Even 99% farmers cannot have the volume because they cannot construct large number of greenhouses. As the initial expenditure involved is very high. So to fill the limited quantity of the produce are very helpless at the marketing level. So I say often to the farmers that never construct a greenhouse, make a good friends, create a cluster. Suppose if you make a greenhouse and next 2 days later there is heavy wind, one polythene ruptures, what will all the repairmen? For 1,000 rupees worth of repair, he will charge you 5,000 rupees, including the travel from Delhi or from Jaipur or any big city from where you will come. But if it is a cluster of the greenhouses, then that repairman will open the shop near the greenhouses only, that there are 10 greenhouses. Little sundry job every second, third day. So once he will have the business, the market, local market will keep the inputs also, and you will get the repairs also, you will get the technical support also. And if you have a good association of greenhouse growers, then you can even call experts to your individual farmer. It's very difficult to call any expert to help him. What are the kinds of the problems they are facing? So cluster approach for the greenhouses is, may I be excused in blanket so that every time I don't have to say sorry. मेरे को पहले ही माफ कर देना, मैं आगे भी खांसूंगा, ठीक है? So even the support system works better if you are working in the clusters. Okay? So cluster approach is again very, very important. You see, if you read the history of the greenhouse agriculture, it started for producing vegetables for soldiers in the cold region because they were not able to get the fresh supply of the vegetables. So in Leh Ladakh, some experiments, some trench cultivation covered with polythene were started to produce some vegetables for the soldiers in Leh Ladakh and higher reaches. Then slowly DRDO started doing some work in this area. After that, Israelis came into India. First, some corporates built greenhouses for isolated breeding. For breeding work, they need isolation so that undesired pollination doesn't happen. So some Indo-American hybrid seeds and all, they built greenhouses. Later, around 19, Israeli government entered into an agreement and they built the greenhouses. In the meantime, the technology also spread to the South India, where it really prospered well. Because Pune and Bangalore area, the climate was very suitable and people were very progressive in terms of agriculture in that area. right from fruit cultivation of grapes and banana, like that, and citrus. So they were very progressive farmers who have quite some money to shell out. So they built greenhouses, and because of the good understanding, good knowledge, good support system, and the excessive climatic situations were not there, the greenhouses were much more successful. Uh, in 1997, one Indo-Israel project, our center where I am working, was built. But in North India, the greenhouse agriculture could not succeed as much despite the government support because the climate was very harsh and the simplification of the technology had not yet happened. Now that waves of success and failures of the greenhouses saw one wave during COVID. COVID, everybody wanted safe food. Food was required and people were struggling to even get the food. So their new wave of hydroponics and rooftop cultivation and urban farming took up the roots. So that is how the protected cultivation has grown in the country step by step, and this has a very great future in the country because of the reasons that I spelled you. For from a small area, land is getting fragmented and youth is taking up, and even non-agriculture background youth from MBAs and IITs, they are going into high-tech agriculture, and many of them are producing wonderful results. So with this, I will say uh, thank you to all. I'll be happy to answer a few questions. Limitation. Today I have limitation with my throat, otherwise I don't stop easily. Yes. Any questions? Yes.
Sir, is there any way to find out the path of white flies?
You are already doing greenhouse?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, no one strategy will work against the white fly. The thing is that first of all, the structural maintenance have to be right. Then, during off season, you have to manage the greenhouse in such a way that there are no weeds. During the crop, you have to alternate the pesticides. You have to go not only with the pesticide but plain water application and neem oil water based application. You have to rotate it with genuine kind of pesticides with the right kind of spray methodologies. So the integrated approach only can help you with the white fly, not a single approach. Excessive use of pesticides is not kills the other microclimate-based flora and fauna, beneficial flora and fauna. But if you alternate pesticides, then definitely it helps. And as I told you, the microclimate management is very important. Proper leaf management, it should not be shady areas. And another thing which is unfortunately lacking in the country is beneficial insects and predators which can feed upon uh, whiteflies. And if you could use some beneficials like Vivera bassiana. So very integrated approach only can help you. Yes.
White fly. Way to find out the path of white fly from where they can.
Normally we believe most of the things coming from Pakistan, and we do in case of whitefly also. The path of the whitefly actually it moves from that area, the cotton growing area. So from Ganganagar area to this, when the wind and western disturbances they flow, the whitefly path comes that way. The integrated control of whitefly in tomato also remains the same, but it is still more critical because there it spreads the virus. In some crops, like cucumber, it may not be spreading viruses. It is other insects which are spreading, but in tomato, it spreads the leaf curl virus also. So you have to be all the more critical. In case of whiteflies, the monitoring is very critical. You have to monitor very critically, and you have to manage the moment you see the first whitefly. Let it not build. The moment you see any whitefly, you tag the area and immediately spot is clear. You monitor the greenhouse every day and you keep the yellow sticky traps also. You tag the areas where you saw the whitefly and even 2, 3, 4 meters you surround, you immediately spray. You don't need to spray the entire greenhouse. The moment you see first whitefly, you have to take the measures. And then you have to follow readily 2, 3 times alternate sprays within the first week of the first side of the white flies. You should not allow because it multiplies parasitically and even without mating. And within 10 days you catch your white flies. And you must also see that it is some polythene or insect proof net is torn so that it is not coming from outside adjoining. Uh,
In which particular crop?
see one of my You see, one of my bulletins, a small bulletin, is available on the internet. Nematode management in polyhouses, along with some key tests. So, a brief note is given. Otherwise, I have written a book on greenhouse agriculture, production and protection. It is available in both English and Hindi. It is on Amazon. You can see that it is complete. Whiteflies, it is given in thorough detail. All other pests, all other crops, all other stages, all other factors for greenhouse. So if you are really interested in that, then you can see that. Please. If none, then thanks again to everyone and for very patient hearing. Thank you very much. And thanks for the Anitas. It helped me. Reflect. Good. It works.
Thank you very much, sir, for this informative talk.
Thank you so much, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience that one of our dear participants who just got delayed due to some reason didn't receive the certificate from the guest. So he has a desire that can sir provide me my certificate and award. So please come on stage, sir. I would like to invite Mr. Rahul Dave. I would like to request DPS Badwal, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Javed Sabir for this felicitation. Dr. D.P. Badwal with Dr. Nawab Ali, please come on stage. Dr. Parveen Singh, please come. Now I would invite Dr. Nawab.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Do we have energy for next 10 minutes? Okay. So, first of all, thank you so much for organizing committee and all the stakeholders organizing this international conference. Myself, Dr. Nawab Ali, I'm Head of Technical Support for Syngenta India Limited, and today I'm going to present our new technology called clean and technology. That's novel chemistry for crop waste management. But before moving to my talk, let me show you one short video about Syngenta India, what we are doing in India, and what's our history here.
It all started way back in 1928. Even before India became independent, we had an aim, a vision, and a mission to make the farmers of India flourish in their agriculture, to make them self-reliant, and we are committed to it. We are Syngenta, and we have been working each and every day to help improve Indian agriculture. We have been deeply rooted in Indian agriculture and the farmers of India, and it shines through the products and services we offer. For over 90 years, we have been the most trusted choice of Indian farmers, introducing new and innovative technologies to enhance their farms' productivity and improve the lives of Indian farmers. No matter the crop, rice, cotton, corn, sugarcane or soybean, Syngenta has answers to all pest challenges with the best brands to slay. Syngenta has always been working closely with Indian farmers, being in the forefront by contributing right solutions in the right place at the right time to the right people. With 500 scientists, 10 R&D centers, 5 manufacturing plants, 3 seed processing units, Syngenta India directly employs 6,500 direct and 18,000 indirect personnel. In India, Syngenta has initiated a very innovative sustainable solution called Syngenta iClean. This has empowered rural communities, especially farmers, through strengthening their infrastructure, enhancing awareness on hygiene and construction of vegetable selling marketplace, has also introduced iSafe, inculcating safety awareness for farmer empowerment in collaboration with government and NGOs to provide health and safety education to farmers and farm laborers. Syngenta has paved the way for every Indian farmer to weave a success story of his own. Making Indian farmers self-reliant has been high on our agenda. Syngenta Foundation India has been educating small and marginal farmers on the latest developments suited to their local needs, and thus ultimately improve their income. We are proud of what we do and even prouder of working shoulder to shoulder with India's finest farmers. And their success is our way to contribute to India's growth story. We are proud in establishing a strong trust among farmers. We are proud in supporting families since decades. We are proud in being associated with dreamers and doers. We are Syngenta, and we make every farmer count, to whom we owe a mountain of gratitude.
So we are almost since last 90 years been working in India and Indian agriculture. So before getting into the technology, let me show you what's happened in the last 70 years and what we need next decade. So here you can see this is the land, arable land available globally. I'm not talking about India only. You can see this land is stable and around 1 billion. 1 billion hectare land we have to cultivate, and this is stable since last 1950. And the population is already, we reached around 8 billion. Okay, to feed. We already grow 3x, almost 4x our food. This is the situation as of today. But what we need in growing population by 2050, you all are aware the estimate on the population, it is going to be 10 billion by 2050. And there is land expansion. We have to produce 28% more food to feed the population. That's the biggest challenge before the world, before the agriculturists, all the scientists, farmer. So we need, with this limited land, almost 28% higher food to feed the population. Now coming to why crop protection, when we are saying, you might have heard in all the newspapers, everywhere, chemical is this, chemical is that, okay? You have seen only one coin, one side of the coin, okay? Let me tell you why crop protection chemicals are required. If you have here no chemicals, you can grow your crop, but yield potential will be only 30%. You can see the actual yield with crop protection. Here you can see almost 28% will be protected. And if you are not using, you have 48% actual, 42% actual loss. In the morning you might have seen we have 320 million food grain production in India. But if we are not using that, you will lose enormous to the paste, to the various paste. And if you are going with the all your crop protection, you will attain the yield. Okay, there is no paste. If 100%, because 100% farmer are not using, if there is no paste, you can go this. Apart from biotic stress, if you are counting abiotic stress, we can go to there. Okay, we can feed easily if we can save these losses. This is the global data that we have available. If you look at India, okay, these are the different, all our agriculture student can understand. This is the pie chart of how different pest causing the damage. Weeds are almost 34%, insects 26%, disease 26%, and the loss approximately is 90,000 crores annually, okay, in agriculture because of these kind of pests. That is the reason all crop production or yield enhancement crop protection products are required. Now, let me get into our new technology, that is clinazolin technology. This is the chemical class, new chemical class, isoxazoline, and in the group, this is categorized in IRAC group 13. Okay, and we have the ISO name isocyclosporum, and we are launching almost 10 brands globally. This is the just brief about the technology. I'll talk about more on the crop protection part first. So here you can see 1950s okay, 50, 60 eras was OPs and carbamates grow. Then we moved to pyrethroids for insecticides. You might have seen in household pest so many. Then in 90s we have neonicotinoids. In 2006 we moved to diamide. But now in 2020 we are launching clean technology and it is gonna change the entire era. So there is a data available why we are saying this chemical is gonna change crop protection industry. Okay? Here, what farmer is using, Lepidopteran, if the entomology people are there, they can understand. The major is the labs, okay, Lepidopteran insect. The second is sucking, mite, soil paste and others problem, biotic we are talking. And farmer globally is using almost 13 billion to protect their crop. 13 billion in terms of, if you can convert, it would be around more than 1 lakh crore. Okay, they are using, and they are using different chemistries to protect neonicotinoids, diamides. But here, this will solve the problem of all these. This will be the one-shot solution you have for all these problems. Most of the product like diamides, they can control only labs. The other neonicotinoids can be controlled few labs, settings and all. But this technology is going to control all these pests. Okay. So here, this is our global scenario. What we are going to do, more than 100 crops, we are registering this product directly. 60 insect pests we are going to control with this technology, and 40 countries already registered, and we are expanding this technology globally. Okay, now coming to the what are the features, I will take few because already uh, I have been allotted 10 minutes, so I will not take each and everything. This chemistry is, if you see the contact chemistry, it is not a systemic chemistry. Novel mode of action, I will talk about this, why it is novel. This is slow, okay, slow initial action, but it will get killed. Longer resident control, farmer is using mainly every week or every third day. But this chemistry is very long lasting chemistry, on 2 to 3 weeks phase. So it is going to cut down on the applications. Okay, stay on the only leaf surface. It is not going to the plant or not going inside the fruit. Excellent UV stability. Sometimes you have seen the temperature is very high, just farmer is utilizing the chemical application, and because of the high temperature, it getting degraded. So here we have the solution for high because of this, and low volatility. There is no dust. It is completely safe to the applicators and farmers. Okay, resistance, let's say you have applied this chemical and after almost an hour, there is a rain. There is nothing will happen to this chemistry. It will stay on the surface. Okay, crop safety, we have done almost 4,000 plus trials globally. 4,000 plus before. Now we are doing, we are reaching to almost 10,000. We have seen there is no crop safety issue for this chemistry. So these are the few features about this chemistry. It's a broad spectrum. I will talk more on that part. Why we are saying, okay, this technology stays, this chemical stays 98% on the leaf surface. It doesn't move. It hardly move 2% to the downside. Okay. Here another video, very short video, how this technology works when it gets into the contact of the insect. This is a leaf about rice leaf folder. How this is working. Everybody knows the mode of action. After application, like evaporate, it is spread. Remain on the When insect come into the contact through its feet or feeding, so this technology target the nervous system. So all testing signals stop when this chemistry bind with the GABA receptor. Okay, so that was the mode of action of the chemistry. You have seen how signals pass. Okay, your mind gives the signal you have to perform a duty, and there is the another signal you have that stop that activity. So what it does, it stop that signal. Okay, you might have seen how the muscles cramp in the insect. So that's why we are saying this is a novel mode of action. There are many chemistries available that does, but it has a different side. Okay, a resistant breaker, as of now, there is no resistance reported to group 30 cross resistance. So this is completely safe. Broad spectrum, I already mentioned, you can see the number of crops, number of the paste, it is gonna to control. And one more thing, you all are aware that all the life stages it is not controlled by the many chemistries. This is the chemistry that can control all the life stages. Broad spectrum, when I'm saying the broad spectrum, it controls many pastes, not only the labs, chewing paste, it also controls the sucking paste. So cross spectrum, broad spectrum, as well as the cross spectrum. Uh, crop is 100 plus crops, we are already registering. So that's the key things. I will not take much time. It's a performance. It's a long-lasting performance. It's give flexibility. When we say the flexibility in terms of the target insect, 20 gram is enough to control your mites, entire mites. Only 20 gram per hectare, 10,000 square meter. This is the smallest amount you require to control. Only 20 grams. Okay, innovation, the new active ingredient, it is there is no chemistry available before when we innovate this. So these are the three things. 360 innovation, why we are saying this is gonna replace many chemistries. Farmer will not require to have for sucking different, for mites different, for labs different. It can control all the stages, all many insects through this chemistry. So thank you so much. Any question around this? That's all from my side. Yeah, please. Anybody has any question? Yeah.
How many days it work? How many days it adheres to the leaf?
So it's depend. It's depend on the target crop. Generally, it works for 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes 4 weeks as well. We have observed in different crops.
Pesticide residue कितने दिन तक रहेगा?
So residue also depend on the target crop. Generally, a week time. Okay. So So banana crop जो है, banana crop we are just targeting, that's our wave second crop data is being generated. This year we are launching in 9 crops and 9 crops under registration LND. Okay. Yeah. And so cost need to be revealed because we are going to launch in June. This will be the premium. I must say that it is not going to be a cheaper chemistry because this is the one-shot solution for many problems. Okay, but we always try to address the farmer pain points. So there are chemistry, those got resistance. We are trying to resolve all those issues. Yeah. And dose is very low dose. Okay, maximum 20 to 15 to 60 gram per hectare. Yeah. Any other question?
Sure. How does it affect the beneficial insects or when it enters
So,
the water cycle?
so as per the data what we have generated, if you go with the recommendation, there is no harm for that. If you are not going, let's say okay, you are going to have the foraging time of the bee, that you need to avoid. Okay, but as far as the data has been generated, this is safe to most of the beneficial insects. Any other question? Okay, if no more question, thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sir. Now I would like to invite to Dr. Madhu for the award. And I invite to present this award to Madhuri. Sir, please come on stage. One more award, sir. Please stay here. Dr. P. Thank you very much, sir. Now I invite Dr. Parveen Singh for keynote speaking.
Thank you very much. And it looks like waiting, and finally got an opportunity to speak with very limited crowd. So that doesn't matter for sharing the knowledge. But मेरा एक सोच जरूरी है कि जब भी कभी आप टाइम कहीं पे भी स्पेंड करो, that will be fruitful. So I'm expecting whoever is here, at least try to understand. Not sleeping, can you just awake that boy next to you? Ask him not to study in the night, okay? So, I'm here for a technology. अगर यहाँ खेती करने वाले लोग हैं, तो हम बिना मिट्टी की खेती के बारे में बात करेंगे. So that is going to be the hydroponics, or I'll only answer a few of the questions because I'm sure that you guys are not going to get everything from me with this 10 minutes. So I'll take up 3-4 questions, which is a very common question. Once anybody in hydroponic is coming, they will ask. So the first question is, what is hydroponics? So generally people say that cultivating crop without soil is hydroponics, but it is beyond. Hydroponic is a technique to create a better microclimate around the root zone. It is It is related to root. And root is a mouth for the plant. If mouth is healthy, then your crop is going to be healthy and जो productivity आपको चाहिए वो मिलेगी. And दूसरा, अगर plant healthy होगा तो maybe डॉक्टर नवाब अली की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. Because healthy plant never allow the insect to attack them. ये वही उसी तरीके से है, जो हेल्दी आदमी होता है वो भी बीमार नहीं होता है, हेल्दी प्लांट में भी अटैक नहीं होता है. So first, creating a better microclimate around the root zone is hydroponics. That is the first question. Second question comes, बहुत common सा question है, how क्या प्रॉफिटेबल है, इसमें पैसे बनेंगे, ये बहुत सारे लोग सवाल पूछते हैं. The answer for that question is, if your effort is sincere in a right direction, it is really one of the most efficient growing system on the earth, as well as well tested on the Mars also. However, अगर आपने सही डायरेक्शन में सही तरीके से नहीं किया तो एक किसान जो खेती करके कमाता है वो भी नहीं कमा पाओगे, अपने घर का भी लगा दोगे. Simply, I come across one of my what should I say, follower in Pakistan. He informed me that he is selling his car for converting his whole system on solar. So that type of a passion, and most of these guys, they are not having an agriculture background. White collar job, बिना हाथ गंदा किए ये खेती हो सकती है. And profitability का आप expectation या assumption अगर लगाएं, it is 100 times than what the other guys are getting in open field. अगेन जैसे वो एडवर्टीजमेंट में होता है ना, एक को छोटा सा स्टार लगा होता है, provided you are on a right direction and using your effort in a right way, then it is a profitable venture. जो होता है, लोग कहते हैं कि भाई ये आज बड़ा बातें हो रहा है ऑर्गेनिक एंड हाइड्रोपोनिक प्रोड्यूस में. एक सवाल आता है कि whether hydroponic produce is organic or not. So straightforward answer, in India it is still not an organic, not considered as an organic, because इसमें chemical fertilizers use करते हैं. Considered hydroponic produce as an organic. Why so? Because organic की जो premises है, organic farming का जो basic principles है, वो आपको बैलेंस फर्टिलाइजर एप्लीकेशन करना है और उसके साथ साथ कोई भी हार्मफुल केमिकल यूज नहीं करना है. और ये स्टोरी शुरू वहां से हुई जब फार्मर्स, बिकॉज स्टिल आई बिलीव फार्मर मींस द ग्रोवर इज द बेस्ट इनोवेटर. Maybe the big companies like Syngenta and others can innovate in the lab, but in our country, farmers are the most efficient innovator. So अगर आप पीछे जाएं हिस्ट्री में, ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग शुरू ही वहीं से हुई कि भाई जब इम्बैलेंस हुआ फर्टिलाइजर का, तो उन्होंने क्या सोचा, पेड़ से या प्लांट बेस्ड मैन्योर यूज करते हैं, बिकॉज प्लांट बेस्ड मैन्योर बाय डिफॉल्ट इज गोइंग टू हैव ऑल द एसेंशियल न्यूट्रिएंट, बिकॉज पौधा खुद वही खा रहा है. सो बाय डिफॉल्ट व्हाटएवर द मैन्योर इज बीइंग यूज्ड इज गोइंग टू एंश्योर द बैलेंस. और हाइड्रोपोनिक्स में अगर आज बात करें, अगर आपने बैलेंस न्यूट्रिशन नहीं किया, जैसे डॉक्टर नवेद ने भी बोला था कि अगर एक्सेस न्यूट्रिशन हो गया तो इट विल किल द प्लांट. सो बैलेंस न्यूट्रिशन इज द बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर हाइड्रोपोनिक्स. और अगर अच्छे से कोई कर रहा है तो कीड़े मकोड़े की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं है. अगर कीड़े मकोड़े नहीं है तो पैथोजन नहीं है, पैथोजन नहीं है तो पेस्टिसाइड नहीं यूज करेंगे. सो द प्रोड्यूस इज आइदर इक्वली गुड और समटाइम इट इज बेटर देन ऑर्गेनिक प्रोड्यूस. Three questions I'll take up because my dear friend is is about he's desperate to catch his flight for Patna. So I'll stop here. If you want to know more on hydroponics, Google out the Kheti Badi Wala. I'll be there for sharing my knowledge there. I have put on too many videos on YouTube links. I'm always available. I'm the least busy personality on the globe. So anybody who will approach for any kind of a knowledge, I'm always available. So with those words, if anybody have any question, I'll love to respond. Otherwise, thank you, and maybe we'll come across some other place. Thank you.
Very much, Dr. Saab. Now I invite Dr. B.K. Singh for his lead paper speaking.
Afternoon. The basically is coming to us evening, and everybody is very impatient. And organizer asked me 5 minutes. Actually, if my wish could come, I can do 1 minute. But never mind. Let me, because we have heard our predecessor, everybody talk about food security. And whenever we want to smile, what we talk about? Always talk about sweets. Today I'll talk something about sweets. Topic was self extension of loose selling Indian sweets. Popular 2 sweets I picked up, gulab jamun and burfi. And let me advance that. Why sweets? Whenever we are happy, how to express it? Number 2, we need to signify our joy, happiness. Most importantly, if we want somebody to feel that, yeah, you are important to him, you offer sweets. Sweets are for all good occasions or good omen basically in India. And you see the market, not only India, world market. Even in the world market, if you see, you are looking at the growth rate, around 4.8% per annum compound growth rate is the market. But they say confectionery, world market. But in India, we don't say confectionery. Confectionery only chocolate and other packed food. But sweets are separate. Sweet market in India is growing at the rate of 13% compound interest to see the market. So sweet market is also very important in Indian scenario basically. To see how Indian sweet market is, then we see we can broadly classify 2 categories, organized and unorganized. Specifically, to see the unorganized sector, they are 90%, only 10% in the organized sector. Okay, this is means all India, everybody eats sweets. Of course, our North Indians are more fond of sweets as compared to South India, but all of us, whole of India, we eat sweets. The sweet market is everywhere, wherever you think of. Corona has given us good lessons. Everybody talk about it, immunity booster, and same has created into the sweet market. One survey was done in 2022 after Corona, and what they found, they are now, whoever eating sweets, then first thing, whether eating sweets will improve my health, can it improve my immunity? They are also looking for that. So it means it is giving a new way or a task for a food scientist who are going to develop a new food, how to cater the consumer. So, and even FSSI, I think long before, in 2020 only, before I think Corona only, they have given that even loose selling sweets has to give an expiry date. You must put it at least the flag and the tray in an open up. And okay, advisory was to associate the manufacturing date when you have manufactured. So it means it was given advisory, but now it has to be mandated soon, basically. So keeping this in mind, what we thought of, okay, let's talk about the loose, because 90% market is there. So why not we work on those areas and improve the quality in both the ways, nutritious as well as some self-efficiency so that nobody has to cheat. The vendor doesn't cheat. So with this purpose, so we thought of formatting a new way of making the sweets. The sweets should be our sweet, but it should give us some goodness to us. That was the basically, but we did some surveys and also find that what we all know that our spices and herbs are giving the, lot of them have preservative nature, lot of them are giving our immune system good stuff. Some of them are even good nutrition, are coming from some of the grains that have very high protein content, high good fat content. Can we use that flow to make added advantage from in the sweets? So with this purpose, what we did some surveys. This is the survey based on what they are practicing, what we found out, because around 4, so you can say 5 to 9 days was the birth self life. When they are right not doing. Similarly for the glutamate, we found 4 to 8 days from all seasons we talk about. Now, what is the parameters we talk about? Then we find out for the gulab jamun and barfi that traditionally prepared, these are the composition. What is important is the protein. Protein, like one parameter I took from the micronutrient, that's antioxidant, that is EPS. So what we thought in a traditionally made is around 5, it's around 9% protein. And in burfi, protein about 30% because some of the, in them they put it from the high protein source basically. And DPPH were around 4.61. So what to do with this? So we try to modify their, whatever their flow, these flows are from the vendor. But what we did in this area, we try to some extract we want to add. So that some nutritive values would go into the sweets and the consumer's response was healthy and nutrition food that we can cater. And similarly for the gulab jamun also, we modified in this area where we put some element from the soya, it has very high protein content, and oat rolls also has high protein content, some good minerals and vitamins are there. So we try to infuse that, and in this area we add some herb factor so that the goodness of the foods can increase. With this purpose, we try to do it, and just I will not go for every parameter, but I include protein. What we saw, see it increase around some increase, and most important that micronutrients that from 4 to 12, around 3 to 4 times increase. Means at least immune boosting parameters we can infuse in the sweets. That was the only aim what we went for. And we wanted to see whether if we have done it, whether it is going to affect the self life. So, and in same case we talk about like a gulab jamun what we found out, we were putting on 9 to around 12, certain some increase, and but ending from 5 to 24 times basically. So at least what we thought, it is possible without altering the test because we have done the sensory analysis, not much different, but we can infuse the immune boosting component in the sweets. So these are the like a self life we found out in the control system around 8 days, and in the improved just we put some of the extra hardware that had some preservative nature that has increased up to 12 days. So 8 to 12 hours, 1.5 times increase in self life also coming, it's coming as a wound. So it means similarly in case of this is for the burfi, and for the gulab jamun also it was from 8 to 11 days. It's around certainly more than that. So what we find, this kind of intervention is going to help consumer as well as the vendor too. So it's a win-win situation. Only much more because the addition is very minimal amount basically. So that's what I summarize. For the food scientists or those who are in development of food product, or for them, it's advisory, I can say simple. They can utilize the herbs, spices, and the superfood sometimes we follow from this, flow from that, and add to the normal recipes to increase the nutritive value, their immune boosting characteristics, and not only that, they can reap the higher shelf life at the room temperature. So with this, I'm going to finish other work. This work is continuing basically. Some more works are in the way, but that's what I have to say. Thank you very much. Any questions I will be able to answer. Quick questions. If not, then thank you very much, and thank you for the question.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I invite Dr. Anurag Saxena, working as a principal scientist in NDRI Karnal. Sir will join online here. Dr. Utkarsha ma'am. We call for Dr. Anurag Saxena. How he will join? Pavan Kaur.